Wow, what a sight. A garden, an oasis in the centre of the city.
Concrete, timber, stone and landscape has made it into a truly amazing interior.
We usually come home and shut the door to the outside world. Well, this project does the exact opposite. Wow, now this is no ordinary apartment, is it, Adam?
No, it's not. It's a very special apartment right in the centre of Sydney. We wanted to create an apartment which was a garden rather than an apartment, and have these gardens that kind of then we happen to live in, as opposed to a house that had some gardens around it. The building used to be an agricultural machinery showroom. So they would take the tractor from the showroom into the lift, up onto the roof, and you'd test drive it around on the roof. And we're on the old roof of the building. Most people who I'd say we live on Cleveland Street, they're like, my gosh, that must be so noisy. But actually up here, you don't hear much at all. We've done things like have the garden here, set the apartment back from the edge, and we have a pond which creates some background noise, and it just kind of filters out the hum of the city. So when you get up here, it's incredibly quiet. You often feel like you're in the middle of the bush. It's really special, actually. There were two components of the building which were original. There was an old stairwell which became a bedroom, and the old lift which became our master bedroom. I think there should be joy in just the composition of spaces and sizes of openings and windows, and they should align with certain views. Within the apartment, we wanted to connect to the sky. It's kind of another facade, it's another view that often people don't take advantage of. So by inserting skylights in the middle of the plan, we were able to get light dropped into the centre, but also just watch the clouds go over.
I'd really like to have a look at that.
Absolutely, let's have a look.
Okay, so this is the skylight that you were talking about, is that right?
Yeah, this is the ensuite shower, and it connects, the skylight connects us from the shower space itself up to the sky.
Hang on, am I seeing double, triple here? Is this a triple shower, is it?
It's a double shower. My partner and I decided that the only time we really get to see each other in our busy lives is when we shower. So it's two shower heads for us, so we can kind of talk while we're having a shower in the morning. Third one, so we can clean the shower easily.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. And the pathway that I see back here, that goes to...
The shower kind of funnels you out, up a few stairs and out into the garden. And we've got a bath nestled into the garden, into the landscape. Faces west, we get to kind of have a bath with a glass of wine and watch the sunset over the Blue Mountains.
Sounds civilised.
It's pretty nice.
And Adam, this is very much a green kitchen. I don't think I've ever seen a green kitchen before. Is this to make everyone envious?
It's pretty special. It's about connecting the landscape just outside with the interior. There's a Boston ivy that grows on the wall directly adjacent to here, and in the summer it's vivid green, and we wanted a colour that would connect the outside and the inside. It's also the opportunity for me to try something that, you know, I'm rarely allowed to do with clients. To try and convince them to do a green kitchen is quite hard, but for myself it was pretty easy decision to make. I think it's really calming space.
And I can see that the kitchen, although it's quite separated, but it's well connected to the rest of the apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the things I hate about apartment living is that the kitchen is often in the living room. So we wanted to make the kitchen its own space so you could cook and it'd be quite contained. But at the same time, this island bench is about that connection from the living space into the kitchen. And when people come over, this is really where you congregate, and the kitchen is the place to cook, somewhat separate from the living room.
And I noticed that throughout the apartment, you've actually paid respect to the heritage of the building. I'm seeing industrial-sized vents for air conditioning. I'm seeing doorways all the way up to the ceilings, and also the glass insert.
Yes, in the main fit-out, in the offices that used to exist downstairs, there was some beautiful fluted glass in the partitions. So in a kind of subtle reference, we wanted to take some of that material into the new part of the building, but without it being kitsch, we just wanted to kind of, you know, have a bit of a playfulness with it, enjoy a little bit of that history.
Well, you've done that very well.
Thanks so much.
By designing an apartment that lets the outside in, Adam has managed to create a detailed, unique oasis right in the heart of the city, while still paying homage to its industrial past.
This next project is Six Head Restaurant in the Rocks in Sydney. I love how history has really informed the design.
This is a wonderfully preserved historic open warehouse that doesn't take away from the beauty of the harbour.
Six Head Restaurant is the newest arrival here at the Rocks. And when you experience the silent design I'm about to share with you, you'll understand why Sydney is about to be seduced. Callie, I love this entrance. I mean, it really is quite dramatic. Why the 6 cow heads?
So it goes back to the first fleet that arrived here in 1788, and along the way they picked up 4 cows and 2 bulls, and those are the first cows to ever come to Australia, and a convict was asked to look after them. He didn't. During the lunch break they wandered off, never to be found again, and discovered 8 years later, now wild and numbering 100, and that saved that first colony from starvation. We got to learn about Dion Horstman. He's quite a famous sculptor, and the way that they turn out and kind of float within the space is magnificent.
With all this heritage, it must have been super tough to install all of this beauty when really you're not allowed to touch the walls at all.
So the building was built between 1850 and 1860. Nothing's plumb. Things are out quite a lot when you start measuring it up. The rope came about really out of necessity, in that when we started taking the finishes off the walls, it started breaking up the sandstone. And so the heritage architect stopped us from taking it off. And so we needed to find a solution to kind of screen it, because it was very jarring to this side of the building. So we conceptualized the idea and then found an artist by the name of Melissa Carey. And she was wonderful to work with, spectacular. We loved the outcome.
So the lobby is quite an entrance statement, and again we're celebrating all this beautiful historic sandstone.
Yeah, so in this particular case, the issue was that we were not allowed to go into the wall with the back bar, and so we set it off by 100 mil, but used the opportunity as a set-off to get a lot of light in, and the distance allowed you to light up all the sandstones to get a very beautiful warm glow at night, which wouldn't have been possible otherwise. There was no need for a bar top where you can put your legs under, and so we used the opportunity to carve a bar out of one big piece of wood. This shape echoes the columns. It's exactly the same chamfer, exactly the same dimension. You won't pick up that it's there, but subliminally you are aware that things are in tune. It's one piece of music.
So there's a lot to think about.
People don't go to a restaurant just to have a meal. They go to kind of socialize, have a great experience. If it was about eating, they'd eat at home. Or Uber Eats, but it's not about that. So if you design a restaurant well, you want to think about where people will be placed, how spontaneously they could potentially have the chance encounter with somebody else.
You know, you've had to distance these things just far enough apart so that they can have a private conversation, but close enough together to get your chance encounter.
Like a great piece of music, there's a difference between somebody playing with sensitivity and the silence between the notes that makes for music to be either brilliant or just pedestrian. And if you're able to get the silence between the notes correct, you get the rhythm correct. And great design is exactly like that. It's the silence between the notes. Not everything's there to be a hero and to be loud. Some pieces are there just to be silent and in the background and support.
When we head out for dinner and great food is combined with a beautiful environment, it's a wonderful experience. But that doesn't happen by accident. Callie and his team have given deep, considered thought to the design here, which means you're instantly comfortable, whether you're sitting here, 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 or here, meaning you're relaxed and enjoying your meal before the food has even arrived. And whilst most of the customers won't even notice half of the design work that's been done here, they will be luxuriating in it nevertheless.